So I'd like to welcome all of you to St. Anthony Foundation, and particularly to our Tenderloin Tech Lab. St. Anthony's is kind of known for being a place that brings people together. We bring our guests, people from the street, together with some technology in this very room. We bring people with resources in the community, people who want to volunteer. We bring them together with people who are in need. Today we're celebrating the fact that we're bringing together people who are coming into this city and bringing their expertise, and tech companies, bringing them together with the nonprofits, St. Anthony's and their whole community here, lots of nonprofits who will be on this Link SF. So it's a great day for us. I can warn you, Mayor, this will be a day where we're celebrating something. We won't have tech companies and activists fighting each other about housing or something like that. Police chief won't have to worry about separating people at a brawl or something like that. We're here today to celebrate a great achievement. I want to thank Zendesk for being here, Mikko, and the mayor. Police chief, I think, is on his way. Some people from Gray Area Foundation for the Arts are here. We'd like to recognize that this is a community effort. We got together, a couple people. I should honor especially people here, Selena Bailey from Network Ministries and Megan Trotter from St. Anthony's, who a while ago thought up the idea that perhaps we could do this. Perhaps we could find some kind of website or app or whatever it might be that people who are using cell phones, and our guests are using cell phones and using smartphones these days, could use that as a way to find the resources that they need in the community. So it's been a great day. When they realized that this could be, they reached out to find someone who could do that. And what do you do when you need something? You're at home, you need a cup of sugar. What do? You reach out to your neighbor. So that's what we did. We reached out to one of our neighbors, Zendesk, and their engineers and our people who knew people who needed this service got together and put this together to make it work. So about 40% of our guests now are using smartphones, and that's up from about 33% last year. So people are using mobile devices to find the services they need. So this is a perfect match to help the people who are trying to help themselves address some of the issues in their lives. So it's a great way of coming together. So we'd like to celebrate that today, celebrate the fact that this Link San Francisco Link SF will be something that will be helpful for our guests. It will be helpful for the nonprofits, ourselves and other nonprofits in the area who are looking to reach out and make sure our services are known to the people who need them. And as it's been recently, the point has been made, it's going to be helpful for anybody in San Francisco who has that kind of encounter, sometimes awkward encounter, with people who are in need, people who are homeless, and now we can kind of lighten that a bit, and somebody can look on their phone and help them find the resources they need, direct them to something that's going to be helpful to them. So welcome Supervisor Kim, who's here today as well. She's been very instrumental in doing this. So let me stop talking and get the most important people talking, and I'd like to introduce first Mayor Lee. Thank you, Mayor.
Excuse me, who are you?
I'm Barry Stenger. I'm the Executive Director of St. Anthony Foundation. Self-effacing.
Well, thank you, Barry. And first of all, I'm still laughing at Supervisor Kim's shoes because she usually wears some special shoes, and now she's got the water boots. That's great. That's a great sign. Barry and I have, of course, come to know each other on an annual basis where I have the opportunity to be of service to him and invite others to volunteer at this wonderful St. Anthony Center. Where on an annual basis, there are thousands of people that have good, rich meals, and they come into contact with services and people that care. And part of our philosophy, Supervisor Kim and I, when we talked about Market Street rehabilitation and others, we wanted to invite, obviously, those that had resources, but also had the attitude that they could help us beyond just having good jobs and good businesses. And while that is as important, those aspects become the foundation of revitalizing Market Street, we also wanted to find out whether there was people that had just the social values that could be shared with us. And we did find one in the character of the CEO, Mikkel Svane, who was the first, actually, of all the tech companies to locate themselves on Market Street. A lot of talk about Twitter, but you have to understand Zendesk was the first that indicated they wanted to be here. Mikkel was personally involved with us in talking about the character of the neighborhood, Market Street as well as the Tenderloin, and what was both challenging yet also opportunities to work with us as a city. So it did not surprise us, especially after his enthusiastic embracement of the community benefits agreements and going beyond what was traditionally expected to say, no, we want to do more. We want to actually be part of this community evolution. As challenging as it could be, taking on the clientele that St. Anthony serves and that we all are always responding to, that Chief Sir and I constantly are also engaged with, and of course Supervisor Kim and I as well, to say that services could now be accessed with the use of technology, and then dedicating his staff and his engineer to actually develop a mobile website that has that services, updates it, evolves it for people who can use the phone, a smartphone, not just for those 30 to 40% individuals, but the service providers themselves who come in contact with those who don't have the phone can use their own cell phones, be they issued by the city or by their own, to help those other individuals. So it's not just for that 30 or 40%, it's for everybody having that access to services. And that St. Anthony's at the heart of this, I think is really happy. I know, Barry, this is at the heart of what you wanted to do. This makes meaningful. It isn't just serving meals, it's about the whole level of services that help transform lives. For us at City Hall, it's been about, again, another great indication that follows the announcement yesterday of Google, all the technology companies who are registering that as they evolve, they want to be part of the success of the city and invite others to be part of that success. Here in the mid-market area, it is challenging. And every entity that's been here for years will tell you that. But now we have better solutions. We're using technology to become part of that answer. And I think Zendesk provides that very solid example. So I'm proud of this relationship that we have, that in addition to creating jobs and helping us physically transform mid-market, we're also taking on values that say those that are additionally challenged, we've got help for you in the most expeditious way. And I'll let the engineers and Mikkel go into detail about how this actually works. But it is another access point, an invaluable access point to services that if you can get that to individuals, they're going to, I think, have a lot more speedier ability to get those services. And then hopefully that transforms into improvements in their lives, a more compassionate city that is smart about its businesses and its business relationships that go right to the heart of people that need those services. I think for Supervisor Kim and I, this is what we live for in terms of our public services, bridging the old with the new, with those that don't have, and making it work for everybody. I am very proud of Zendesk. I'm proud of what their employees are doing, because when you look at what they've done with the CBA, they are walking in and meeting and greeting people in the communities that they are working in and helping to transform their lives in a positive way. This is what San Francisco should be all about, and there'll be more opportunities as we talk to tech companies in groups or as individuals, not just on Market Street, throughout the rest of the city, linking them up to great service centers like St. Anthony's. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Lee. Smart and compassionate. Nice, put those two together. Next, I'd like to ask Supervisor Jane Kim to come forward and say a few words.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Lee, for your comments. I'd like to think that my shoes are quite progressive and forward-thinking. But when it rains, I'm very pragmatic about what I wear. First of all, I just want to say how much I appreciate Zendesk. And they are one of my favorite businesses here in San Francisco. In 2011, when we first passed the mid-market tax exclusion with the mayor's office, it was a time when we were at a high point with our unemployment rate, and when our city was asking, what are we doing about job creation? Mid-market, as you know, at that point had the highest commercial vacancy rate in the city. And so even with the legislation, it still took a leap of faith for our companies to come into that corridor. And we were so lucky that Zendesk came in first, and they set a high bar for everyone else that came in. It was a company that immediately realized that it wasn't just about what it was giving back to the community through financial contributions. It was about developing meaningful relationships. And Tiffany, who I know is here somewhere, Zendesk community liaison, immediately went out and started meeting with folks, developing relationships, and inviting people into the offices at Zendesk. And one of the first things that they did was they hired 2 young people that lived in affordable housing here in the Tenderloin neighborhood. And they got to walk down Taylor Street, 3 blocks from their home, and said that Zendesk was a place that they were working for their summer job. And that is an amazing story to share directly in the community. You know, people don't realize how small this community is, so a lot of companies like to come into our office and boast about everything that they're doing. But I know, you know, where the pavement hits the ground. Rubber meets the road. I'm so bad about these. The rubber boots meet the road when you're actually in the organizations and the schools. And I just want to say, you know, just last week I was visiting Tenderloin Elementary School, and we went into the Reading Partners Lab. And I said, and they immediately said, oh, we love Zendesk. Zendesk is here every week volunteering. I was like, wow, that's amazing. A couple of days later, I'm at Curry Community Senior Center, and they said, oh, by the way, we love Zendesk. They're here every week volunteering. And then I'm at St. Anthony's, and I hear the same thing. And I was like, how many employees does Zendesk have? and you know, we ask about, you know, everybody else, and they're like, oh, they're great. They come once or twice a year, but Zendesk is here every week. And that kind of showcase and commitment, you are a business role model here in the city, and I really wish you the most success. When we wanted to invite companies to mid-market, it wasn't just about filling the commercial vacancy and creating jobs. We wanted to invite companies that want to be a part of the neighborhood. Many folks in the neighborhood were worried that they would create an isolated island in between the South of Market and the Tenderloin. And Zendesk has been a model and has been helping other tech companies in the area learn from how they've been able to partner meaningfully with the neighborhood. So thank you so much again. This is an exciting initiative. This is an incredible need, is how to access information. Many of us with access to technology are able to do that, and we're now able to expand that to our individuals and residents that don't have homes, that live in shelters, to be able to find the best way to access data. So thank you very much.
Next, I'd like to invite Chief Sir to come forward and say a few words.
Thanks, Barry. This is just to echo the comments of the mayor and the supervisor, and I have to give a shout out to Tiffany too, wherever she is. She presses me all the time on that we're not demanding enough out of the CBA, and hey, we have the CBA and we can do more, and we can do more. But I never envisioned that there would actually be an app that came in 60 days after every San Francisco police officer, thanks to our mayor, has a smartphone on his or her person. So I know for me, I carry around my veterans referral card, and I have pockets full of all these cards to try and hook people up. But it's not to use the phrase, it's not bickety-bam. It's not like a computer. And for Zendesk to put in their resources to come up with a one-stop place where we can get the less fortunate to services that, but for the grace of God, could be any of us, and to have this event on a day when the weather's like it is right now and people are so desperately in need to get hooked up with services, I mean, it's just perfect timing. Zendesk, thank you so much. St. Anthony's, who does the work that I don't think you get near enough credit. I mean, we are the city of St. Francis, but there's only one St. Anthony's. So again, from the police department and all the men and women who are now going to be able to really connect people in real time, it just doesn't get much better than that. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Sir. Next, I'd like to have come up a man we've been hearing about a lot, and he can speak for himself. So, Mikkel Svein from Zendesk.
I dropped somebody's mic. First of all, thanks so much for the very, very nice words, Mealy, Greg, fantastic. It's Boots, as you are here after call. But first and foremost, I want to thank Barry we are new to this neighborhood. We've been in the Tenderloin for close to 3 years. You can see our offices if you go out in the street here. And I want to thank you. I want to thank Barry, and I want to thank the Tenderloin Lab for inviting us into their family and allowing us to help where we can help. Having good neighbors when you move into a neighborhood is so important, and we really want to thank the Tenderloin Lab, the Tenderloin Tech Lab, and all the employees here for inviting us in and giving us an opportunity to make a little difference where we can. We are a software company. We believe a lot in the democratization of software, making information easy accessible, and this is a great example of that philosophy and with the LinkSF product, it's a great representation of that philosophy. I don't want to talk so much more about me or Zendesk and our great neighbors here. Del, you're here today. Great seeing you again. But I want to embarrass our engineers that have worked on this project, because this is all about them. They have put in their own time, they put in their free time, and put in their pride and everything to build this product. And I want to embarrass Ken, who stands here, Ken Nakagawa, who stands here. We hired Ken, almost 3 years ago? Yeah. You were a punk out of Boulder University, persuaded you to move here to San Francisco. You looked up on Google Maps where we had our office, and you said, okay, let me find a place close to that. So you found a nice little place on 6th and Mission. The weekend you moved in, there was a murder just in front of your building. This is just like, for everybody else, this would have been a great opportunity to turn their back and to say, like, I don't want to deal with this mess. But for Ken, it became an opportunity to embrace the society and help and embrace the neighborhood and figure out a way of making an impact here. So I want to thank Ken, and I want to thank his team for really making an effort here, because I can do so much as the CEO of the company, but it's all about you guys. So thanks a lot, Ken. Come up on here.
Thanks. Hi, everybody. I'm Kenshiro. I'm a software engineer at Zendesk. And I'm one of 7 contributors to the LinkSF project, so it's not just me, it's 7 people that have been contributing over the last 10 months. So we're building a Yelp-like site. LinkSF is a Yelp-like site, a mobile site that is going to connect users in the Tenderloin to local services like food, shelter, technology, and medical care. 10 months ago, we didn't really have a good intuition about how to build a product like LinkSF. But what we did know is that in order to build something like this, we would have to understand our service seekers just as well as we understand the business users of Zendesk. And we work here every day. I've lived in this neighborhood, and this was a unique opportunity for us as part of the community to learn more about the people that live here and how they access the web through mobile phones. So one of the things that we did in an effort to learn more about our users is go just across the street and visit the Metro PCS store, right? Because these people know every day what kinds of phones are most popular, and we could get an idea of the devices that we'd have to design for. So there are phones like the LG Motion, not the iPhones or the Galaxies that dominate business use. Spending time in the store and through our ongoing collaboration with the Tech Lab, with Megan and Selena, we've learned a lot about the community, and we learned that it's not the stereotype. Our service seekers don't fit the stereotype of someone you might see on the street. It's really a silent majority with access to web-enabled phones through federal subsidies. So there's affordable access to the web, but there's a lack of a mobile portal that caters to their needs. So that's where me as a software engineer and my team, designers and product managers, were able to contribute in a way that leverages our day-to-day skills and really give back to the community and give everyone access to the web and access to the services that they need. And really, for service seekers, access to the web is a basic need, not a luxury. And these mobile phones are becoming more of a lifeline. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. So now I'd like to ask Josette Melchior to come forward, and she's from the Gray Areas Foundation.
Yep, Gray Area Art and Technology. Great. Thank you so much. So you might be wondering why Gray Area Foundation for the Arts is involved. We're the newest partner on this project. If you know about Gray Area, we have a history with Mid-Market and Tenderloin. We were actually invited here by the Mayor's Office and the Tenderloin Economic Development Project in 2007. So we actually moved here in 2007. I was actually creating a history and a timeline recently. So I was digging up my old email, and I got an email from Edwin Lee in 2008, who actually awarded us our first city grant. So thanks, Mayor Lee. I don't know if you remember that, but it was it was through the Community Challenge Grant Program. So Gray Area, we support art and technology to create positive social impact. We do that through research, education, and public programs. Currently, we have a group of Tenderloin teens learning computer programming to create artwork. So we teach code to create artwork and interactive experiences. So the reason why we're involved in this project is to help to deploy this project to the streets. So you see the screen here. We're actually developing some system in partnership with Zendesk and the Tenderloin Technology Lab to allow this project to live and breathe on the streets. So imagine touch screens, data visualization, and things like this. So it's a way for those without mobile phones to also access the project. So we're going to be embarking on this journey together over the next year. So please look out for announcements on what we actually end up with. But yeah, I'm excited to connect the dots. We've worked for many years with tech companies, arts organizations, and community organizations, and also worked with the Tenderloin Technology Lab back in 2010 through a community arts festival called City Centered. So I'm excited to now work with the Tenderloin Technology Lab and Zendesk to bring this project out to the streets. Thanks.
Thank you, Josette. Every time we gather at St. Anthony's, whether it's with mayors or CEOs or police chiefs or whatever it is, we always realize that the most important person in the room is our guest. And so we'd like to complete this press conference this morning by asking one of the users of this technology and one of our guests, Edgar, to come forward and say a few words.
Hey, you guys, I'm Edgar Aguilar. I'm also a grateful recovering addict, a resident at the Father Offer Center. Well, I came across this Link SF, and I used the technology pretty much to show me where the tech labs are at. I've pretty much found this one and a few other ones. I also ended up finding a job, which was pretty good. I ended up going to the job interview and they ended up hiring me, which was Acrobat, which it was pretty nice, you know, to actually be able to find some technology that I could actually use. And I mean, it's very important for us to actually have smartphones, because I mean, a lot of people like myself, we out of luck, we end up trying to find food, housing, or pretty much clinics that's really important for us to actually be able to get a hold of, you know. So me, by using the technology, I ended up finding that job, and I mean, that's pretty much a blessing for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Edgar. So that concludes our press conference today and this celebration, but continue to talk, and the press, I think, will have access to do some interviews if they wish, but look around the tech lab, enjoy yourself. So.
Are you going to do a demonstration at all to show us, could you show us how this works?
It's
Yeah,
active.
I'm happy
Anybody
to,
can-
so this is the site live right now. Anyone can visit it, link-stuff.com. So in designing the site, we wanted to focus on connecting users to services really quickly, right? So the Tech Lab has kind of figured out that there are 5 main categories. So they're listed here: shelter, food, medical, hygiene, and technology. So you know, let's say like if we're looking for shelter, then we can search right away, and right away you're given results. Phones have a GPS, right? So then you get results listed close to you. So the things that are most immediately available to you, we provide. So you can see here that there's a variety of results. We tell you what kind of services that each facility offers, because some locations offer several things: hygiene and medical care in addition to just shelter. And if we drill down, we can see more details, you know, the kind of people that the facilities cater to. We can get walking directions because we know where you are. So, you know, we want to make getting to somewhere and satisfying whatever need you have as efficient as possible, right? This is what we do every day for the Zendesk product. So this is, you know, we bring that same expertise here and hope to connect users in the same way. And, you know, if we find that, okay, this is a location I want to go to, and you want to reach out and say, hey, are you guys open right now? We do list the hours, but if you want to talk to someone, if you feel more comfortable, then you can also, you know, call right from the app. So we try to provide you all the different options you might want. You can visit the website, you know, get directions. So we're hoping that the site really helps to empower the community and, you know, connect to the services that they need.
I have a question. I don't know that much about apps, but I know that sometimes people use like little banner ads that can, you know, generate revenue. Like, is there any way to actually generate funding for services that could help the folks who are in need of services?
I guess that would be a possibility, but that's really not what we're focused on. This is not an app, right? We're not trying to make this self-funded. This app, as it is now, runs for free. So this is, you know, we're hoping that this is a model that, you know, we can start anywhere. Any other city could take LinkSF, you know, have their own deployment, and multiply the work that we've been able to do here, and you know, spread this technology to as many people as possible.
It sounded when you were talking that this was kind of a work in progress, but from looking at this, it looks like you already have tons of stuff on it. So what is kind of the next step that you're doing? What is it that you're working on now?
So what you see here is, you know, this is not like a weekend hackathon project. This is the culmination of 10 months of work. The team has been meeting every week, you know, and Zendesk has been gracious enough to give us that time to work on the project that we love. So at this point, you know, we just recently launched. We're live now. People are using the site. People are depending on the site. So our goal right now is to make sure that we validate all of our assumptions that went into building this tool, and make sure that it's going to be successful before we look ahead and plan for the next thing. Because this is not, you know, it is a prototype, but we want this to really work. We're not here, you know, just to make a splash and then move on to something else.
But it is up and available for people.
Yes, definitely, it's up and available for, you know, both the service seekers and for referral services.
And how long has it been? Have people been using it?
Yeah, we've been slowly releasing it. I mean, the site has been live for a little while now, maybe about a month. But, you know, this is an ongoing effort, right? So we've been iterating with the tech lab through user testing, and, you know, this is not really going to be a finished product. We're going to continue to improve on this, just like we do, you know, at Zendesk.
Great, thank you.